You're listening to the Not Your Normal podcast. Subscribe now.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in back to the Not Your Normal podcast series. If this is your first time tuning in, listen, you're welcome. And if this is not your first time tuning in, you are also welcome. Please do not leave without subscribing. I just want to start by saying Happy New Year to each and every one of you. It's been 2 months away from the podcast, and I will explain shortly. First of all, let's get straight and do the little introduction. My name is Bobby, and this is the Not Your Normal podcast series, a podcast series for creatives. Let's get right into it. So, what has been going on? First things first, right? Because I've been away for 2 months. I haven't uploaded. Wait, I said 2 months. I think it's almost 3 months, but yeah. I would explain briefly, and that was because I wanted to re-strategize. I wanted to come up with a better way of putting out content. I wanted to make sure that the content I was putting out was something that was good enough for people to listen to. And I wanted to also just do a little rebranding on everything from the logo to, just so many things. And so I needed that time to really sit down and really put things out, plan things the way I think that they should have been, or the way things I wanted things to be. Gladly, I'm happy with how season 1 of this podcast series went. Looking at the statistics that I have over 300 listeners, and that's really good for the first season. So I'm looking forward to doing this much better in season 2, and we're hoping to at least reach 1,000 listens. I don't know, man. It's all in you guys' hand, and I just hope that you guys are ready to support me on this second journey again. So, what else am I missing? Yes, for my YouTube viewers, if you are viewing this on YouTube, hey man, this is part of the exclusive content that those on the audio would not see, because they probably would not relate to what I'm talking about. But basically what I'm trying to say is that if you've been following this podcast since I started in August, you'd know that this is not how I take my videos, or this is not how I make my videos. But I've had to make a couple of changes, and because I just felt like, I was tired of sitting there really, and it was comfortable, but for me, I just felt like I could make things better, just switch things up a bit. Plus, I wasn't really using the screen. I could only, look at my laptop to see my points. But right now I have like a small screen here. So I'm looking at the points that I need just here, and I'm able to view and then have that playing in the background. If you can see, that's the new logo and everything. That's the new, look, man, it's about to be a late season. Don't go anywhere without subscribing. So let's get right into it. Right, so it's been a while, things have been going on. I hope that 2021 is going well for each and every one of you. For me personally, honestly, I just think it's one of those years that, it's still like 2020 in a way. What I mean is that, the coronavirus is still there. And particularly if you even live in Nigeria, you know that like we are far away from getting this thing resolved. Rather, I think that it's just going to start getting real again. So, besides that, I think that the year is looking okay. It's looking good. Couple of bad news here and there. Seen a couple of people I've heard passed away. Not the kind of way I want to start the year, but it's what it is, and we have to live on with what it is. So, yeah. Thank you again for tuning into this podcast. If this is your first time, do not leave without subscribing. And let's get right into it. So today, what will I be talking about today? Should creatives take a break? Really, that's a question that I think a lot of people should ask themselves. Like, ask yourself this question. Do you think you deserve a break from what you're doing? Do you think you need to take time off what you're doing and just say, hey man, let me chill, let me take some time off and just, recap and just, come back full of strength. I think that a lot of people personally spend most of their time working and, not giving themselves time to re-energize or, rebuild that whole creative, part of them. And really, it's not really a big deal until you actually reach the stage where you start to burn out a lot. So when you have so much work to do and you're not meeting up with deadlines, your creative process is dropping, your productivity rate is not as the way it should be, then it becomes a problem, right? And so that's one of the reasons why I think creatives should take a break. A lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people, I did put out a poll a long time ago, and that was last year, and I asked people that, do you think you deserve a break, or have you taken a break? So some people say no, they do not deserve a break. Some people say yes, they deserve a break. Some people say yes, they have taken a break. Some people say no, they have not taken a break. So I was wondering, the percentage of people that were among the people that said no, they do not deserve a break, I really had so many questions in my mind as to why do you think you do not deserve a break? Like, for me, taking the break is not really like, it's not something that you have to, like, go on a luxury trip or something. Like, it's just something where you take time off and just, spend time to yourself, try to re-strategize. You could spend that time just listening to music. I mean, reading a book. Everybody has, something that they like doing, right? Personally, I would even say read a book or something. Like, use that time to grab on something new. Use that time to maybe build yourself, take some little tutorials, or totally step away from the screens. That's if you were always in front of the screen. Step away from the screen and then just, be somewhere else or do something else, And people need to understand this. Taking a break is really essential for your soul and mind. Take it or leave it. Know this and know your that's the new thing. Know this and know peace, right? As much as you will think of, I don't know how much you think of taking a break, but really I think I have a couple of points here that I'm going to say. So the first point is taking a break from the work you love is how you sustain doing the work you love. So you would reach a stage in whatever it is that you're doing that you need time off to, be able to think of new ideas, time to be able to re-strategize and just refocus. Okay. And for me, I think that even without being a creative or even without doing this, when you are, for me personally, I'll use myself as an example. When I go out, when I meet with people, or when I communicate with people, social network, and everything, there are times when I actually just take time off and just put the phone away, just because I need to, like, let myself breathe, like, let myself get itself back together. Like, I want to get myself back together. I need to re-energize. It's just like using your phone, it's going to die one day, and then you have to plug it back and then recharge it. So yes, that point of getting that recharge, that's what I mean by saying, taking that time off. That's my own definition of, what I think that people should do. Because at the end of the day, your body is not firewood. I think that's the way to put it. Your body is not firewood. You can't keep, doing all the work every time. Sometimes you need to just take time off. Another point I have here is it's about realizing that taking a break is good for your soul. I think I just said that. So you can feel more of you can evaluate, you can reflect, you can work to create a life you love, so that you can be wonderful and authentic as a person rather. And that's a good point. I think that I've said a couple of things that I've just mentioned in this point, even in what I'm saying. Now, another one here is, you don't have to take 3 weeks or 3 months for a break. It could be just 1 week. It could be 2 days. It depends on you. But here's the dangerous thing that I think can be a problem. When you let it pile up, like last year, it happened to me. Like, from the month of January, February, March, April, May, I was constantly doing things. I was putting out content. I was trying to make sure I was meeting up deadlines. I did not want to, take time off and just say, oh, you know what, today, let me rest. Let me do this. No. And in the month of May, I totally crashed. Like, I I could not even, I didn't even know what I was doing, to be very honest. I did not know. I sat in front of the screen and I couldn't even figure out what I wanted to do. I couldn't even put things together the way I would usually do them. And I wasn't even being creative. I would do something and look at it an hour later and I'm like, nah, this is bad. This is not what I want. And so it just kept, and throughout the month of June, I had to stay off the screen. I wasn't creating content for an entire month. That's why I mean that's the dangerous thing. When you let it stay that long, I mean, it shouldn't be something that should be planned, but at the same time, you can decide that every month you're going to take maybe 5 days off in a month, however you decide to spread them or something. I don't know how you're going to do it, but it's up to you as a person to decide what works for you. So that is very, very essential, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. Now, guys, I know that this is such a brief topic and this is such a short topic, but I need you to understand something. Know yourself. By knowing yourself, you need to ask yourself these questions. What works for you and doesn't work for you, right? When did you feel most inspired in your life, and when did you feel least inspired in your life? You need to know these things. Now, lastly, what things in life seem to influence you and motivate you more? What gives you much morale? What pushes you forward to do what it is that you do? Know these things and know peace. That is the new slang. That is the new word. Listen. Anyway, guys, so I'm so excited to be back on this podcast, season 2. I'm so excited. I'm loving how things are moving, to be very honest. Hopefully we keep things going. That's the plan. Hopefully we keep things going. Now, there are a lot of things that are coming up, even as I'm speaking to you. Now, there's a YouTube community, which if you are a YouTuber watching this video, or if you are listening to my podcast, I'll be leaving a link for you to follow their Instagram page. You can follow and you can send a message to be part of the community. I think it's going to be something that is going to be very big and something that we as YouTubers really need, especially in Africa or Nigeria, to be precise. It's very much needed. So I'm going to be leaving a link in the description for you guys to, try and then see what it is. Now, also, the podcast now has its website, which would also be left in the link below. Also, guys, I'm going to make segments of this podcast where you have to ask me questions. So I'm going to leave links where you can send me a question via my email address. You can send either audio, video, or text questions, whatever you want to send. You can always send, or whatever. And then also, if you check my Instagram page, I have now left a new link there that allows you to join for newsletter, which means you get an alert when we create a new episode of the podcast. And then also you'll be able to drop a review or a suggestion on that link. So basically a lot of things are changing. So that's basically it, guys. So I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Even if you do not sign up for the newsletter, I need your review on the podcast. So click the link below or up there if you're watching this on Instagram or wherever you're watching this, and leave a review, leave a suggestion, leave a question for me. And listen, let's put everything in a segment. That segment will be titled Ask Bobby Whatever Question, and all your questions will be there. Your names will be mentioned. If you want to be anonymous, that's fine. But yeah, you guys get the gist. So let's get to it and let's have fun. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. I hope to see you on the next episode. Stay tuned for more. It's been your boy, Bobby Dimas. Stay tuned.